Good afternoon, this is Minister Paul Maxon. See if I can get this in there for a thumbnail. 9:35 a.m., 10/28/2012. I've been literally just praying in the Spirit over this. I just don't even know where to start, so I'll have to start somewhere, so let's go. Coming to you from Northern California, 9:35 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on 12/28/12. Belladonna, I don't know if you know anything about this. This is just one of the links that the Cape Maker blogs about. So enough of that. Let's go all the way back to December 20th. I was just simply taking my trash out, and I heard God speak to me, and he said, Operation Fallen Angel. Here's the video right now. It's only 44 seconds long, and then it says an invasion, and it's not UFOs or aliens. There will be a false flag, then real. Everybody see that? That was 8 days ago. And then that's what kind of led into me I felt like I just had to explain. What happened was I got a lot of questions. I didn't expect this many views and this many questions. And I felt a responsibility to explain them. And it took me a long time to explain 2 years of a school I worked at that burned down that was full of witchcraft. And I spent an hour explaining how I was guarding a school that had been full of witchcraft. I don't know how better way to explain it. That's what these 3 follow-up videos are on the 21st. Fallen angels, evil governments, and evil demons, and this is how they will explain away the rapture. Wow. So now, everybody remember this guy in the media, he'd offered to send capes, but they had lightning bolts on them and targets. Remember that, and that 5-point crown. And this is on the 22nd, the next day. Now just watch the confirmations.
Target. Now they think their product is a perfect
5-point
for the
crown.
kids in Connecticut. We have kids, they love their capes. And we know what that's like to see them running around in their imagination world. Well, for every purchase made, they're going to donate.
Okay, so I don't know where to go with that. So what I did was I took his address. I mean, this is just what I do for a living. I'm not harassing anybody. It's an apartment in Rockland. Now, just remember that because I made a video. I said, so these guys make capes. They're called the original super capes out of an apartment, which I don't have a problem with. But as I began to go deeper into this story, I feel like at some point witchcraft has become involved. So just follow the bouncing ball. This is the address, 3300 Parkside Drive, number 33. The address from here. That they're making these capes and sending them out. This is his exact words. We feel like they're a perfect fit for the kids near Sandy Hook or something like that. Let's go back and play it.
And we know what that's like to see them running around in their imagination world. Well, for every super capes have been making these handcrafted Target. Now they think their product is a perfect fit for the kids in Connecticut.
For the kids in Connecticut. It's a perfect fit for the kids in Connecticut. So that's their location. And then here's their website. Original Super Capes. And you look at some of these capes, and the first thing that came to mind is witchcraft. Now this is my opinion, and I have a right to it. This is not something I'd put on my kid, and I don't think it's a perfect fit to have targets, This one's called pirate, but to me it represents poison. I grew up, whenever I saw that, it was a bad thing, not a good thing. Do you agree? We're going to put targets and the crowns and the lightning bolts. So this is their website that they make them out of their apartment. And you can kind of, here's the lightning bolt and here's the target. Let's put a target or a satanic lightning bolt. That's what its roots are in. Remember Hitler and the Nazis? Well, he says these are a perfect fit for the kids. So from there, it kind of became amazing to me that at the mall, the suspect had, just follow me on this, please, and I'll be out of your hair. The mall suspect had a 5-point crown. And what was I talking about on the 20th and 21st? A 5-point crown. And what was it about? An evil government and a false and then a real. False flag, then real. And then let's fast forward to, this really bothered me. I watched this on the news last night and I hit record because fast forward to the 28th. In an emergency situation, what are you to do? Well, just call the police. First thing I'm going to do is get to safety. But I couldn't figure out what bothered me about this. Well, and then I saw the 3-7. And I realized this is not an Arden Fair Mall police officer. This is Roseville, California, which, Roseville, which is over near this guy. Roseville and Rockland basically butt up against each other. They do. They butt up against each other. It's Placer County, not Sacramento County. This is Roseville. See, Sunset Boulevard it butts up together. If you go too far north, you are now in Rockland, which is where I bought my gun with the serial number 3773. And remember, and look at the numbers, 33. So here we are, and I'm looking at this, and I realize, where is he at? They're in a Target parking lot in Roseville. See the Target? And look at the unit number 37. I'm just going to roll this video. You form your own conclusions. It's almost the end of the year. I've tried to be obedient to share what God is showing me, because let's run.
Gives us an opportunity to talk to an eyewitness that might be there and might be able to give us information that we could use to determine how we're going to respond to the incident.
Roseville police say most law enforcement agencies in California go through a special training annually so that they can respond quickly to similar events.
Most police departments are turned towards knowing the layout of those places, because if something happens with large crowds, you want to know how to get in and out and the best access and exit routes.
Sacramento police, sheriffs, and security have the mall locked down within minutes of the brawl, proving such trainings pay off. Have a debriefing to see what they can do better next time should something like this happen again. Eric?
Luana Life Force, thank you.
In court tomorrow. If you go back on this, you'll find one of the license plates of the sheriff
was call police.
The more phone calls that we get, it gives us enough.
Was call police.
I can't make please hear me out. I'm having trouble making
locking themselves
the
in bathrooms. Police say
this is a Sacramento County Sheriff's car, number 37, in front of Arden Fair Mall for a fight that apparently caused way too much panic. Would everybody agree on that? Over a food court fight for people to be injured, getting stomped out. So I can't make the transition from how we go there with a license plate 37 over here
best thing
to
they
Roseville.
Could have done was call police.
The more phone calls.
Now we're in Roseville in front of a Target with the unit number 37. Total different county, total different neighborhood. So God took it even farther. I put in Super Cape because that's the name of this. and it came up with the map to Cape Cod. And so, having not been real familiar with the East Coast, here's the map. See the hook? And I began to pray because a brother, he had sent me, I'll show you, he had sent me, here's a map of where they're interviewing this. He had sent me an article, and I'll put a link into it, about tombstones. Remember the tombstones in the video? He was watching a tombstone thing where kids were buried in Boston at this place. So what's the thing here? Is this a target? Is there another target? Is this a false flag? Is this a false flag that becomes real? Is it an invasion? I don't just make random videos, you know. I'm asking you. 5-point crown, Nazi lightning bolts. Look, matter of fact, that's even a 3-7. And I'm just going to leave you with that to figure it out for yourselves. I'm not going to spend 15 minutes on here saying anything other than just showing you the lightning bolt and the target. The lightning bolt and the target and the 5-point crown long before the event happened, and then him being in front of a target, and the guy in custody while out on bail, actually, that he was out on bail the next day, having a 5-point crown. So, and then this, being in an apartment. Ask yourself, you know, what does it all mean to you? All I did was run the address. I mean, this is just my background, you gotta understand. This is just, it's kind of hard to shake this as a watcher on the wall to just look for things that, and then add in the Holy Spirit. So, I would say, watch this area, and I'll put a link in the description. Please check a link into the description as to how this ties into what somebody else told me. Put it all together like a puzzle in prayer, and you'll figure it out. Too many targets, too many crowns, too many lightning bolts, and the whole time I'm reading this, the Holy Spirit is saying witchcraft, witchcraft, witchcraft. Has our government become involved in witchcraft? And is it affecting our kids? And are they targets? And I'll just leave you with that.